Okay, that got cut off, so I'm going to talk about the analogies now that I had mentioned while at the very end of the first part of this. Okay, this analogy, I look at it as I look at hope as like there are two kinds of hope. There's hope for the now on Earth as we are on Earth, and there's hope for later as after we leave the Earth. They're both very important. The hope for now I call the high wire hope, where I'm up on a high wire and I can only see the wire that's right in front of me, which is true of like the high wire. You're not looking ahead like to the end. You're kind of looking like right there at what's in front of you. So you can only see the wire right in front of you. And I can't see exactly where it ends because I have to keep focused on right where I am. Okay, in withdrawal, for me, it was like the light right in front of me. There was no light. I couldn't even see where I was going. So I was in big trouble, and I had to rely on others to shine the light for me so that I could continue. And this was like the people who wrote the success stories and that, the people who had gone through it. So that's the one kind of hope. It's the here and now, the high wire hope. Okay, and then there's also the hope for life beyond now, like when I leave the earth, the safety net hope, okay? And I know that like as I'm walking the high wire, even if I fall off the high wire, and I will eventually fall off, I'm not going to be here forever, I know there's a net below, and that when I fall off the high wire, I won't be on it any longer, but I will be safe. I will be in this other place that is a really good place. Okay, so for me, the safety net hope, which is an eternal hope, it trumped the high wire hope. Maybe that's a bad word to use right now. I don't know. Some people are pretty sensitive about that word, trumped. But so the eternal hope kind of it's eternal. It's better than the high wire hope because I had confidence in the safety net hope. I had confidence in that, not so much in the hope itself, but I knew that what I was hoping for was certain and it was sure because the Creator essentially holds the safety net for me, holds it in place, and He still does. Like even now, that is my hope. So you got like these two hopes, one high wire hope and the safety net hope, okay? And the bottom line for me was that if I had not had the certainty of the safety net hope, I would have had no real hope. This is true even now as someone who has healed. And I'm in a good place right now. But there's still that safety net hope, the eternal hope. That's very big for me. It always has been, but especially now. But in withdrawal, it was actually necessary. Okay, the high wire hope in withdrawal was absolutely necessary for me to get through withdrawal. The hope I got during withdrawal, that I got from other people, like from success stories, from things I would read and so forth, is very, very important for me to get through withdrawal. Any little thing that I could find for hope to get through withdrawal. And that hope was kept alive by people who had survived, who've gotten through, and the hope that they were telling me the truth, that I would eventually be well, that withdrawal would end and life would be good again. But for me, without the promise of the permanent safety net hope, the eternal hope from the Creator, the temporary high wire hope would not have been enough, not for me. I would have thought, what's the point? I know you've heard this, life sucks and then you die. I've heard that from people. And I think I was kind of like one of those people at one time, really, actually, because of my life. But as I have gotten through withdrawal, I see things much better than that. But so what's the point? Life sucks and then you die. Like if I hadn't had that, what I will call eternal hope, the safety net hope, be like, what's the point of getting through withdrawal if I don't have the certainty, the surety of looking for the next good thing, knowing that the next good thing is just on the horizon, it's right down the road. Okay, So the bottom line of the bottom line for me in all of this is I needed both kinds of hope to get through withdrawal. Okay, the hope that withdrawal would end, okay, and that was fueled by others who had gone through the journey too, who got through withdrawal. And I needed the confidence in the hope that my path, I spoke of my path before, which is eternal, when I wing my way from earth, will be fulfilled just as the Creator has promised. Okay, the Creator has promised, like, well, your path continues, and it's a good path. Life is good, and so I had to have both to get to this happy, joyous, free place that, like this website where, you know, happy, joyous, free, and that's the place I'm at, and I had to have both kinds of hope. And I don't know if this, you know, rings a bell with anyone or registers or anything, but that I'm telling my story basically, how, like, the totality of the hope for me, it was in the temporary hope here and now, like getting hope from others who had gone through, any little piece of hope I could get. But if it hadn't been for the, what I will call the overarching hope, the spiritual hope of like, even if I don't get through withdrawal, even if somehow I can't do it for whatever reason, I still have this much, much larger eternal hope where there's not going to be any withdrawal or anything like that. So I don't know if this has made sense to you, if it's helped in any way, but I guess what I'm saying is my hope was like kind of like two-pronged. There were two kinds, one for the here and now and one for later. And I had to have both to get through, really. I really did. Let me see where I'm at here as far as time. Let me see. Okay. What I would like to do is, I had mentioned in both of the last videos, I guess, I got an email from, what's actually a Facebook message from someone who, it's kind of like a success story. It is a success story. I want to read it here, talk about it a little bit. Since this is like a 2-video thing now, I'll do this one. Okay, she writes, I am 5.5 years off. I took various benzos, started with Valium, then Xanax, then Klonopin. I crossed the Valium to taper because I had tight throat muscles with Klonopin. I got stiff muscles in my rib cage from quitting Xanax, and it lasted about a year. I sought out PT and chiropractors thinking something was wrong. They couldn't find anything wrong, thankfully. I even got 2 steroid injections in my spine, was offered pain meds. Thank God I was smart enough to say no to those. I thought it wouldn't take it away, and I didn't need another dependence. I had all the various withdrawal symptoms, depersonalization, derealization, shaking, nausea, burning muscles, agoraphobia. My body jerked for 1 year while lying down and sometimes in a chair. In withdrawal, I stayed home 6 months and slowly started driving again. Went to the grocery stores. I still have a few things to overcome, such as getting back on highways, driving over bridges, crossing rivers, and going to second floors in malls. I have done it, but do get tense and put it off, you know, when I have to do it. I still have a fear of heights that I am not worried about overcoming. I'm a work in progress. I do enjoy being around people again. I enjoyed the holidays this year, being around relatives. First year in withdrawal, I skipped all holidays. Okay. Okay, she took Vistaril too. She talks about, this is something she had forgotten in the original message. She forgot that she took Vistaril. And I guess she had some bad, something bad from that, some bad reactions. Okay, and I think that's it. Okay, she had like trouble with urination and different kinds of things, muscle weakness and so forth. Okay, so I want to talk about this a little bit. I mean, she's at 5.5 years now. She got well before. I mean, this just happens to be where she is now, and she sent this to me. What I find interesting about this is, well, first of all, it shows that I think probably like 3-4 years is when she finally decided she was well. So for those of you who are It's taking a long time. It does end. It will end. Even people do get well in you know, like 3 and 4 years. That is true. And for those of you who are, you know, starting out, you know, the first year or so, don't freak out over that. It's not common. It's not real common. But it does happen to some people. For me, what is interesting is she still has a few things to overcome. Getting back on highways, driving over bridges, crossing rivers. I have had trouble even now. I can do it. I can do it, but I'm not. It used to be I loved driving. I was very comfortable. It was a very relaxing sort of thing for me. But now I don't do it a lot. I don't drive highways a lot because I do most of my driving around here, where, you know, I mean, there are lots of highways around here, but I don't typically go up on the highways. I tend to stay more back in the other areas. So I don't do a lot of it. I can do it, but it still kind of freaks me out sometimes. I think it's the movement. There's something about all movement, even being in a car where someone else is driving. It's just there's something about my nervous system that's very sensitive to especially fast movement. I don't know why that is. Driving over bridges, you know, I can drive over bridges, but a lot of times when, you know, the bridges that I drive over are on highways, so that's probably, and the one bridge that I would drive over is actually, it's the Susquehanna River. They're fairly long bridges, so yeah, there is something about that. Something about movement, I think, is what it is. That's kind of freaky. I still do actually have that. A number of months ago, I had, I think in a video, I might have posted something somewhere, that the driving problems I had for so long seemed to be subsiding. I was doing more driving on highways and so forth, and it was getting better. But I find that if I don't do that when I go back on highways, I get all kind of freaked out some. I can still do it. It's just like I try to get myself just to say, I say to myself, like, just relax, take it easy. But there's something, it's about the movement. It's not about like fear, but then like the movement, you get these weird feelings, and they kind of like, they create, it's sort of a fear. It's just a strange feeling that uneasiness, I guess, uneasiness. So yeah, I just wanted to, you know, she sent that to me. That was very nice of her. 5.5 years. She basically is well. She enjoys being around people again, and she's not agoraphobic, and like the depression's gone, and she's good to go. It's just some of these lingering things yet that I guess they can hang around for quite some time. But for me, got over the mental stuff, and that was good. As long as I can enjoy life, like some of these lingering kind of physical perception issues don't, I mean, they don't mean a whole lot to me. I would prefer not to have them, and at some point I think they will all kind of like vanish, but there's still a little bit of this and that going on, and that's just how it goes. But even now, I'm still seeing improvement in areas, certain areas, like my sleep still. It's getting better. I never was a great sleeper, and I drank a lot of years, and you know, and when you quit drinking, you know, if you've been an alcoholic, then you have, a lot of them have trouble. It takes years to get the sleep back to fairly normal again. So okay, I'm heading for 14 minutes here, and the first one was, I think, like 13 minutes or something. I'm hoping that this helped, especially my words on hope. For me, like, to be honest, I knew early on, I've said this before, when I got back from the psych hospital after my 3-week stay there, and I was in La La Land, and my wife mentioning to me, this is a spiritual journey, and it was. I knew it was, even as messed up as my brain was at the time. And part of that spiritual journey involved the hope, the eternal hope, actually. I mean, there was the short-term, like, hope just to get through withdrawal, but the underlying hope, the safety net for me was, I know, like, I have been promised, you know, wellness and health, and the next good thing by the Creator. I have been, and I know if I don't get through this, and it seemed completely impossible that night we were sitting on the sofa, because that's about as messed up as I was in this whole thing. Like, I mean, I had several days in a row there that were super bad, but I was just in another world. Life was, that night was surreal. It was just so bizarre. I didn't even feel like I existed, but yet I knew in my spirit, in my heart, yes, there's something spiritual about this. There's something that, and I knew, like, my hope is, it's good. My eternal hope is good, but getting through this withdrawal, I don't know. I didn't even know it was withdrawal at the time. I didn't know what it was. I just was so messed up. But anyway, I'm going on again. Okay, tomorrow I guess the Falcons play the Packers. I would like to see either one of them win. That's a hard one. And of course, I want to see the Steelers beat the Patriots. Have my doubts, but I'm still going to be rooting for them. And we'll see. I don't know. So anyway, probably go downstairs here and watch. I got some DVDs in the mail the other day. The first 5 seasons of Alfred Hitchcock Presents. And probably most of you aren't old enough to know what that was. It was like a half-hour series, like way back when I was a real little person. This actually started in 1955, I think. So I'm working on the first season there. I've watched about 15 or so. They're pretty cool. They're pretty cool. Some of them, they're all very weird, but they're very entertaining. I've been watching some of those, so that's probably what I'll do later on here this afternoon. And then maybe tonight do something else. I don't know, maybe I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, I hope this gave you some insight into something. I don't know. It's primarily spiritual. It was spiritual for me, and the hope. There's always hope. You do get well from this. You really, really do. So the short-term hope to get through the withdrawal, just keep it alive, because it will get you through it. It honestly will. I promise you that. So I'm going to shut up here now and let you go. We're in the weekend here, so I hope things are reasonably decent for you. And until the next time, I'm right here, and I will be right here. Bye-bye.